welcome. If you're joining me for this explainer, you're probably someone who really values focus, efficiency, and honestly, just getting things done without burning out. Today, we're diving into a highly curated stack of just 5 AI tools that are going to absolutely slash your weekly busy work. Listen, we aren't going to look at 50 different shiny new apps that you'll download and never actually use. Instead, we're focusing squarely on 5 specific tools that, when you combine them, are proven to save you 10 hours a week. That's right, we're literally going to buy you back an entire workday.
Okay, let's dive right into this incredibly revealing number. According to research from Asana, a whopping 60% of a knowledge worker's day is lost to work about work. Think about that for a second. The coordinating, the scheduling, digging around for lost documents, endless status updates, it completely displaces the actual skilled work you were hired to do. And this is exactly why recent industry data is showing that 77% of freelancers are desperately adopting AI just to keep their heads above water. If you aren't using these tools, you're simply working way harder for the exact same output.
So, here's the provocative question I want you to keep right in the back of your mind as we go through this explainer. What if you could win back 10 hours a week? As I mentioned, the secret isn't downloading every new app that goes viral on social media. It's really about building a specific, proven problem solution stack. We're going to target the exact bottlenecks in your week, the scheduling, the endless meetings, the execution, and the editing. And we're going to plug in the absolute best AI tool for each specific job.
Section 1. Hacking your calendar. Taking back control of your schedule.
The average knowledge worker suffers through about 17 meetings per week, which is just a constant, exhausting game of calendar Tetris that totally destroys your deep work. To fix this, we're introducing the very foundation of our stack, Reclaim.ai. This is an AI calendar app that sits right on top of your existing Google or Outlook calendar. Instead of you manually trying to scrape together time to write that report or, actually take a lunch break, Reclaim uses AI agents to automatically defend your time. You just tell it you need 2 hours of deep work by Thursday, and it continuously scans your schedule, dynamically shifting things around as new meetings pop up just to ensure that time stays protected. It literally does the heavy lifting of scheduling for you, 24/7.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the hard data. This isn't just some theoretical benefit. Reclaim's continuous background optimization saves users an average of 7.6 human hours every single week. That is nearly a full workday just completely handed back to you, simply by letting an algorithm manage your calendar blocks and defend your focus time.
Section 2. Outsourcing your meetings. Stop taking notes and start participating.
Since we can't always escape meetings entirely, we absolutely have to change how we handle them. This 40% figure brilliantly illustrates why this matters so much. Professionals spend nearly half their week trapped in meetings. That is a massive drain on your actual execution time. You spend an hour on a call, and then what happens? You have to spend another 30 minutes writing up the notes, extracting the action items, and emailing the team. It's exhausting.
And that brings us perfectly to tool number 2, Otter.ai. Think of Otter as your personal meeting proxy. It features this bot called Autopilot that automatically joins your Zoom, Google Meet, or Teams calls as a participant. It records and transcribes everything with speaker identification, and then it generates perfectly structured summaries and action items the second the meeting ends. You can literally walk away with a flawless recap without lifting a single finger.
Section 3. Your heavy-duty assistants. The engines of actual work creation.
Okay, so your calendar is defended, your meetings are outsourced. Now we transition into the execution phase where we need some serious firepower. Tool number 3 is the heavy hitter you definitely already know, but maybe you aren't fully maximizing, ChatGPT Plus. For $20 a month, this is the ultimate all-arounder. It's absolutely perfect for getting a rough draft out of your head instantly, brainstorming, doing some basic coding, or summarizing web research. Actually, it completely takes the friction out of that dreaded blank page syndrome.
And the data totally backs this up. An MIT study found that people finish their writing tasks a massive 40% faster when using ChatGPT. When you're staring down a heavy workload, cutting your drafting time almost in half, that is an incredible competitive advantage. But as amazing as ChatGPT is, sometimes you just need a different kind of finesse. Enter tool number 4, Claude Pro, built by Anthropic. Claude is the tool you reach for when good enough just won't cut it. It consistently produces much more thoughtful, well-structured writing. Plus, it really avoids those obvious rhythmic AI phrasing tells that make ChatGPT output so incredibly easy to spot.
And here is where Claude truly flexes its muscles. It has a context window of up to 1 million tokens. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it translates to massive time returns. You can take an entire 80-page legal contract, a super dense financial report, or even a full code base, paste it right into Claude, and it can analyze the whole thing in seconds. It reads the dense documents, so you don't have to.
So the crucial takeaway here is knowing exactly when to use which assistant. You want to use ChatGPT for fast, general-purpose, heavy lifting, ideation, and rapid drafting. But you tag in Claude for the deep research, analyzing those massive documents we just talked about, and generating high-quality, nuanced prose that actually sounds like a real human wrote it.
Section 4. The final polish. Perfecting your output automatically. We've scheduled, we've meant, and we've drafted. Now you want to ensure that everything you ship out to the world is crisp, clear, and perfectly professional. Tool number 5 is Grammarly Pro. Now, to be totally clear, this isn't just some basic spell checker from 2010. Grammarly is a smart AI writing assistant that quietly runs in the background of your browser, your Slack, your Google Docs, and your email. It catches grammar, clarity, and even brand voice issues in real time. And the best part? It saves you from constant context switching because it lives exactly where you're already typing.
You might be wondering, does a background editor really save that much time? Well, a customer story from Amplify completely validates this, reporting 2 to 4 hours saved per week per user. When you add up hundreds of tiny background edits and clarity rewrites over the course of a busy week, it really compounds into massive time savings.
Section 5. The 10-hour productivity stack. Putting it all together.
We've looked at all these individual tools, but the real magic happens when they act together as your personal workflow infrastructure. Here is your highly actionable summary stack. We've got Reclaim.ai for your calendar at $10 a month, Otter.ai for your meetings at $17, ChatGPT and Claude for your heavy-duty drafting and analysis at $20 each, and finally, Grammarly for your final polish at $12 a month. For roughly $79 a month, you are essentially hiring an entire virtual team. Think about it. An executive assistant, a researcher, a copywriter, and an editor, all for under $80.
Now, I do have to caution you. Quality over quantity is absolutely vital here. Don't go out and use 15 tools. Just use the right 5. Adding too many tools to your plate just creates more of that work about work we talked about earlier. In fact, McKinsey found that a staggering 1% of leaders think their company has actually reached full AI maturity. The massive gap between AI's potential and reality? It's workflow design. You have to integrate a few tools really well, rather than piling on a dozen shiny tools you barely even use.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sweet spot. Research from ActiveTrack found that employees spending just 7 to 10% of their time in AI achieve the absolute highest productivity. Beyond that, productivity actually drops. It's all about strategic, targeted use of AI in your day. You aren't trying to automate absolutely everything in your life, you're just using AI to clear those specific bottlenecks so you can finally get back to the deep work that really matters.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and back to my challenge for you. If you actually implement this specific 5-tool stack, optimizing your calendar, automating your meeting notes, accelerating your drafting, and polishing your output, you are looking at getting over 10 hours of your life back. So I'm going to leave you with this. What will you do with an extra workday every single week? Thanks so much for joining me today, and hey, I challenge you to go set up just one of these tools right now.